Hi guys, I'm Anastasia and today I wanted to share my favorite books for nail technicians. I think this is the list of the book that every nail technician should read, whether you're a beginner or already an expert. And if you want to become a nail technician and you're just thinking of the nail industry, this is also something you should read. If you're an expert and you think that you know everything and that you can do any kind of nail art in the world, I still encourage you to read them because there's always more to learn. And if you are thinking of going to the next level, like becoming an educator, this list will be also useful for you. Let's begin. First one is Milady's Standard Nail Technology, and as far as I know, this book is like a textbook in most of the beauty schools, and even some of this information in there is a little bit old, like some technology of applying the tips and acrylic, because now the technologies came to a different level. Still, there's many important information like sanitation, salon safety. There's also a lot about natural nail structure, and not only about the nail plate itself, but also of the whole body, the skin, the blood vessels, the bones. This is a great book to get ready for your exam in a beauty school. Next one is my favorite. Honestly, it's like a nail Bible to me. When I first read it a few years ago, I was like, wow, now I realize that I didn't know anything. Luckily, I read it when I decided to become an educator, so it was so helpful for me. Nail Structure and Product Chemistry by Schoon. And as you can see, I have many bookmarks here because I'm still using it as my book on the table because there's so many useful information, like starting from natural nail anatomy and physiology and everything about the products. And what is special about this book that there's not only information like, okay, primer. You need to apply it on the nail, and this is how you will get adhesion between the natural nail and the product. It also explains how it works, why it works, some ingredients that it consists, and how do they react with the natural nail, with the product, what will happen if you will misuse it, and what can be dangerous if you will apply too much. So basically it's everything. When I first attended the beauty school, mostly it was like, okay, here is the hand sanitizer, you need to spray it on your hands, and this is how you will keep them clean. But in this book, there's like the whole chapter dedicated only to this topic. So the author, Schoon, he's a great person. He's a scientist. He used to work for C&D, but now he's an independent scientist. I also encourage you to check out his website. He gives lectures and writes many informative articles, also published some information on the Facebook. So if you want to get educated and get answers to your questions, I strongly recommend you to follow him. Also, there's the second and third edition of these books, which I read on my Kindle, and they're also great. They're made like a question and answer form. So there's like a questions that was sent from different people to him, and he replies, and each reply is not only like, okay, I think that this product is dangerous, you should not use it. He actually explains it according to some research, studies, experiments, according to some scientific articles, and he explained why it's like that and not like that. So every time I read every single question and reply from Doug, I'm like, oh wow, like I didn't know that. So I strongly encourage you to read all of them. All of the questions are divided into sections like pedicure, gels, light cured products, etc. So you can read only the section you're interested in. And even though I'm not doing pedicures, I have never done a single pedicure in my life, I still read this section because it's so interesting and informative. I cannot recommend any good book on the nail art, not because they don't exist, but because I haven't found one. And honestly, I believe it's really hard to create one because nail art industry, it changes and develops so fast that when the book will be published, it will be already out of the date. It's the same as published this week fluctuations of the Bitcoin. right? It changes so dramatically fast, and it's way easier to use magazines, internet, social webs to get inspired, because most of the books, they're like catalogs, like you can see the pictures or you can see the tutorials. So I think it would be great if there was a book which explains some history of the nail art, how it's connected to the different fields of art. I don't know, I haven't found one yet, so if you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments. And besides nail knowledge and nail art, we also need to know something about clients' relationships and marketing to succeed in the nail industry. So there are another 3 books I would like to recommend. First one is Zingerman's Guide to Great Giving Service. So this book is in Russian because I read it in Russian, but they also have an English edition. It's a pretty short book, but it actually contains a very useful information about the client service. You can see this on the cover, that here's the guy sitting like a king and another guy bringing like the whole world to him. So this is how your clients should feel when they attend your nail salon. It's not about some fancy silver linings on the plates and, you know, fancy decorations. It's more about the service and the care, how you actually care about your client, and if they feel valued, they will always come back. Another one is Customers for Life by Carl Sewell. So this guy is selling cars, but still we can learn so much from him. So he explains what you should do to turn every single customer to a returning customer, because this is our great source. In our industry, all you need to do is to attract a few people and then make them come back to you, and then they will stay with you forever. So the goal is to create the right amount of the clients that is suitable for you, and then you don't need to spend much time and money on attracting more, because you will always get constant income and constant clients as they will return. And the last but not least is Word of Mouth Marketing by Andy Serkovitz. So when I ask nail technicians how most of your clients find you, they usually say, oh, it's word of mouth. And this is one of the greatest tools to use, but most people think that this is something that we can't control, that we can't really use it. I mean, okay, one of my clients gave recommendation to her friend, and how can I change it? Like, it's not something that we can change like weather. Well, actually it's not. There's the whole book about it, when the author explains how you can encourage your clients to share information about you, what you can do to control this source. So I recommend you to read it if you want people, and not only your clients, but any person that you know, to give recommendation, and this is how you will attract more customers. These were my favorite books about nail industry. If I missed some, please let me know. If there's any different books that you read and you liked, I would really love to read them. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more about nail industry and watch different nail tutorials and videos just like this one, consider subscribing, as on my channel I post different videos every week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!